is Srinivas Krishnan. I started my journey in a very unlikely location called Jakarta, Indonesia in September 1997. That was the time when we had the Asian financial crisis looming all over, and I took the role as a finance controller for this operation in Indonesia. And since then I've been continuing with the company. I've been growing with them. The company has grown, I have grown, and I've been able to contribute significantly to the development of this group. Well, service industry per se is always innovative because things get commoditized very soon. There is no entry barrier, so we need to continuously evolve. So when it comes to service, we try to segregate the whole level into criminal, basic, expected, desirable, surprising, and unbelievable. So it is only when we keep evolving regularly that we can keep ourselves at that unbelievable level. And because of that, the company has reinvested a lot in innovating different elements of service, including the way people are trained, including the way we go about attracting customers and exceeding their expectations. As a result, what's happening is most of our customers have become our ambassadors. They refer us to others. They talk about our service and they become our marketing channel for us to grow. And that's how we've been able to grow our business worldwide in the last 60 years. Incidentally, we are in the 60th year of our operation. Not many companies which started 60 years are continuing to function progressively like we do. So the group chairman and the board have always been focusing on what is the next big thing that we need to involve in so that we can put it into practice and give what the customers wants. Well, incidentally, what we have got is an idea factory here in this year. Our company chief executive this year came out with what is called a Pioneers Challenge. She threw open a program where everyone in the company were allowed to come out with their concept of what we need to do to grow Crown's business over a 5-year strategy, what we call it as 45 by 30. So what they did is they selected a set of panelists called the Innovators Panel, who were all holding future prospects to grow our business. Then each country were given a point in time before which they could submit their idea either individually in the form or in the form of a group. There were 29 ideas which were screened. Eventually they were filtered down to 9 of them, and they were made to present these ideas in the form of a concept with a business plan to the board of directors and the executive leadership team of Crown Worldwide Group. And based on their voting and evaluation, 5 of them were filtered down. Eventually there were 3 winners, one from New Zealand, one from India, and the third one from Mexico, which is going to be taken up as a proof for development further in other areas of Crown. So this has been a regular journey for us, and while the company started 60 years back, every now and then ideas have been encouraged and they have been sort of adopted in the business depending upon the commercial viability. See, one of the advantages that Crown enjoys is we operate in 5 continents, and while 1 or 2 continents may go through disruption due to war and other issues, there are other 3 continents which have always been flourishing. So this is the advantage of having a diversified portfolio spread over several countries and having your own people. We have no franchise, there are no partnership. It's all Crown staff on the ground. They know what is expected of them to grow and continue to keep evolving, and that has helped us to keep moving on. One idea, say in India or Indonesia or Malaysia, gets immediately replicated due to the power of our network. So we have been able to see through these ideas, roll out fast before it becomes a market news, and get a competitive advantage over all others. We have a group risk officer based out of Los Angeles. He keeps tab of every issue that's going on, any social media negative news that is attempted by any shenanigans or even aggrieved customers. He makes it a point to immediately go to the relevant country manager and ask them to delve into it, find out the root cause and thrash it out. So it's not that we have not had problems before, but then the pace at which the culture of the company tries to resolve it ensures that we are always staying ahead of the game, because we know it takes years to build reputation and probably a nanominute in social media to lose it. So we are quite wary of this, and our group risk office takes care of this. One of the things that Crown does quite well is communicate effectively across all geographies, and most of the managers have been in the system for more than a decade, so they know what responsibility is and what it takes to guard our reputation, the brand value that we have developed over the last few years. So every manager is empowered to take the necessary steps and coordinate with the board to ensure that we are trying to keep our brand value intact and keep growing it. Well, today in India especially, there is a separate set of standards set for customers and separate set of standards set for employees and service providers. What we do is we treat all of them equally. We pay our service providers on time, we pay our employees dues on time, and we ensure that they take care of customers' needs. So if you are able to take care of every stakeholder's needs without trying to segregate them in terms of treatment as compared to shareholders and customers, that resolves this dilemma of what sort of impact will it have. For example, during the pandemic, we did not fire any employee, we did not lay off any employee, we did not even defer the salary of any employee, we did not defer the dues of any of our service providers. For example, the premises in which we are sitting now, the service provider who was giving this building on lease, he was paid on the 7th of every month. So when we reached a point where we needed only 60% of this area for us to operate effectively, he came forward and informed us that we can continue to pay only 60% for 3 years till this impact of pandemic was set aside. So that is a reputation we have built with a lot of our service providers. Some of them don't even have a contract, but we have been working with them for the last 15 years effectively without any hurdle, and that has helped us to build a reputation in the marketplace where everybody wants to work with Crown. Well, if you see in the last 60 years that Crown has been operating in this universe, technology has always progressed and evolved. We have not gone after technology. What we have done is we have tried to reframe the way we work and operate. For example, in 1997 when I joined Crown Indonesia, I can see a scene where a crew member was sitting on top of the truck and he was shouting out the code number of the boxes that we were putting in. Today what we do is we have an RFID which is helping us to essentially count all the boxes that go into a truck in nanominutes. So while we have grown exponentially, we have kept pace with technology. So AI is another such technology which we are trying to embed into our system, which can reduce the manual work and helps us to keep up the growth engine that Crown has been known for in this universe. Well, eventually AI has got impact on information, and we have got a separate steering committee in the group for driving information management innovation. So a section of our team members in the steering committee are looking at how AI can be embedded into the overall business. For example, we have got a product called FEDoc which helps us to onboard customers all over, onboard employees into the overall company systems. We sell it to the customers. We have built AI into it with a bot which will help the HR guys to maneuver through the whole system without clicking too many buttons. So that's one example of how AI has been embedded. Well, if you see, any technology that has come through has always coexisted, provided you work around it instead of treating it as something special. So you can't keep away the human-centric approach to business. You need to ensure that we work human-centric approach vis-a-vis AI in such a way that both of them coexist. AI will never replace human, but definitely you need to reframe the way you're going to put your systems through so that we can capitalize on the use of AI, as Crown has always done with several other technologies that has evolved in the last few years. See, it all starts with the leadership. Okay, if the leadership is going to always look at not only creating value but also capturing value, they'll find ways to ensure that the GCC is adding value and not only reducing cost. It is going to take some time for this to evolve because most of the leaders who are manning the cost centers have come up through the system, so they need to be upskilled to look at things from a very broader point of view. Value is captured, market is created, you don't have it, so you need to use your creativity to ensure that we are putting people together to come out with the next level of what is expected of them. So that's how you add value. See, it all starts with the leadership. Okay, if the leadership is going to always look at not only creating value but also capturing value, they'll find ways to ensure that the GCC is adding value and not only reducing cost. It is going to take some time for this to evolve because most of the leaders who are manning the cost centers have come up through the system, so they need to be upskilled to look at things from a very broader point of view. Value is captured, market is created, you don't have it, so you need to use your creativity to ensure that we are putting people together to come out with the next level of what is expected of them. So that's how you add value. Well, in the service segment, I would say logistics has got a great potential, and all it requires is to have some people build expertise into it and start rolling it out so that even the outside world can come to India to see what is it that we are doing, as Crown has always been doing. See, now Crown is driving digitization all over the group. This started 7-8 years back, but then we are in the forefront of ensuring that we roll it out, help all other Crown offices to drive digitalization so that they know going forward there is no substitute for this. So that's one example. Well, in the service business, everything starts with people and ends with people. So make sure that you have the right people, give them the freedom to express, upskill them, make sure that their knowledge, their abilities and their skills are always kept updated to the next level so that competence of an organization for which they work for is always on a premium level.